My name's Adrian Brown. I'm sitting here with Mark Ellis, also known as Mark Deshawn on Instagram, New York Lizards midfielder. We're going to kick it off with a couple questions for the Helm podcast, so let's get into it. All right, so let's start with how you began your journey as a lacrosse player.
Well, I started off I don't know what lacrosse was. Like my family's from Ohio. I came here. Um, I've been here. I've been here for like most of my life. I believe I'm from Ohio, but I say I claim from Ohio. But I did lacrosse from middle school. My friends like asked me about like lacrosse. I had no idea what it was, to be honest with you.
Mm.
And my friends all played football. Yeah, I was like, I'll pick it up. I'll play it. I think my eighth grade year. I played pole at first. They gave me a pole. The crazy story, I had a pole in my hand. My coach goes, go practice at home. Like, I didn't know what to practice. Like, I was like, all right, looked up on YouTube and a couple stuff. And I was like, I didn't have a very big front yard. So I did ground balls on the concrete in my driveway. Back to school, and I ripped my mesh straight in half.
Oh, gosh.
And my coach was like, what were you doing? I was like, coach, I was practicing ground balls. He's like, where? And I was like in the street of my house. And he started laughing at me. Like, it was like one of those moments like, oh, okay. That's how I really started. Growing up, I wasn't very good. I was pretty really athletic. That kind of helped me out, but it wasn't until after half the season in my third year, like, oh, here's a shorty. I was like, oh, this is a lot different. So
yeah,
so it's a big difference. But honestly, I didn't think I was gonna play lacrosse in college either. I wanted to play football my whole life. I went to play after up in Connecticut, Simsbury, and kind of figured out from there that lacrosse is for me. So.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a great sport. What's your favorite aspect of the sport?
Probably like the skill and the athlete component. Like you can be as good as you want to be. I know guys who honestly aren't very athletic and very good for cross.
Yeah.
Around, it's like you can hit the wall as much times as you can. You get the most out of it. Like you control how good you're at lacrosse compared to other sports like football and basketball. Like for basketball, if you're not 6'3", the odds of you going aren't very high.
Yeah, very true.
For football, if you're not 6'2", 200-some pounds, it ain't for you. Or lacrosse in between, the guys like Miles Jones are very big and very athletic and very skillful too. But you have small guys like Sankey who are 5'3", 5'4" guys who are dancing and diving because of the stick work. So guys like that, it's a very diverse sport when it comes to not a physical, you don't be a physical specimen to play it, but you get the most out of it as hard as you work. So that's a big thing for me. And that's really the biggest thing for me, just understanding that you don't need your mom and anybody to do it. You need a wall. To be honest, if you do it good.
Just a wall. So, quick question: would you rather hit the wall or would you rather lift? Because I do see you lifted a lot on the Instagram.
So I rather. I think from my position, I think two different aspects. I like. So growing up, the one thing I mean, honestly, not the one thing, but the only book taught me. A guy named Craig Gibson. Like we had to sign in for wall ball, 20 minutes, and I was like, how do you do wall ball for 20 minutes? Like, but it was like consistent. I put my headphones on, listen to music, and you just go like rapid fire. Like when people say I do wall ball for an hour, like are you doing it really hard? Like I get to the point where you get like exhausted. Like you should be like 20 minutes quick. That's the biggest thing people ask. Like what do you do like to get better? Hit the wall. It's like one of those things like it may seem like repetitive and but like to get good, you do repetitive stuff all the time. You shoot a million miles an hour. You shoot the same time steps, the muscle memory. So I like lifting too, but I think it's just like one of my passions. Like that's my goal after this. I want to be a strength coach for college. So like I'm an intern right now at Hofstra, working for a guy named James Prendergast, who's we call him Coach Woods. He's a man, but I think the wall mix of both, being physically and obviously skillful, a little bit of both.
Gotcha. So in that determining factor for, splitting wall ball down to needing to be exhausted and breaking it down from a standpoint of what you're working individually, what really motivates you and drives you at the end of the day?
I'll probably say my family. Like, it may seem like so like cliche, but my family really no one in my family knew what lacrosse was. My grandpa has not missed an athletic sport of mine since I was like 6. I can't anything. So in all that games and he still doesn't really know lacrosse. He knows like some questions, but he's always there. But to see my mom and my grandpa like smile and brag about me, like anybody like you have your mom or your dad, and they talk about you, and you're like you just want them to be quiet. Like to see, to see them like be happy that's a really cool thing for me. And I have siblings. I'm one of 8.
Gotcha.
including step siblings, and I'm the only like I went on to go to college so far. My little brother's in college now, but be an athlete and gratefully be drafted. So that's like the biggest thing is and helping the next generation up. Like I didn't have a big generation of obviously like black lacrosse players going back in access. I mean, as I got older,
Mm.
going to Hofstra, I met my idol. I met Kyle Harrison for the first time. And
Awesome.
so I was pretty like really crazy. But like now, being in games and stuff like that, or
Mm.
seeing kids like yell my name, like message me on Instagram, like I want to be accessible. I think it's a big thing.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, I've been through the same thing. Give me a call. And I don't care if you're 12 years old or 35 years old. Give me a call. I'm very easy access to. So
Gotcha. All right, so I know we were talking before we started recording about your 2 years at Hofstra. So how was it like playing under Seth Tierney as the head coach?
absolute stud.
Really?
He's a stud. I mean, I always tell him he's a man of the people. Like he he bleeds blue and gold. He bleeds it. I mean that he recruited me is crazy because he recruited me out of high school. Probably a junior, and I
Mm.
was like, and I'm from Garden City, pretty local. I live probably like 5 minutes away. I'm driving.
Mm.
Like I'm not going. And we play our high school games, like playoffs and stuff. And I was like, I am not coming to Hofstra. I told myself my whole life, I'm not coming to Hofstra. I'm not coming to Hofstra.
Yeah.
And he's like, I came in there. He was like, I remember my mom was in there. He told me, said, Mark, you play football, you'd be
Mm.
one of many. And like, you play because you one of few. I always remember that. And he told me, he said, you come here, you're gonna be a captain, and you're be a leader to people, like
Mm.
you go to inner city stuff. And I was like, when you're in high school, you get things going in one and out the other.
Mm.
End up going to Stony Brook, tear my ACL. Me and the coach and me eye to eye, and I ended up transferring. And Coach Shanny was the first guy who called. The first guy who was like, "Come back." I came back, and it was the best experience of my life. And with that, like, came like a guy that I told you a little bit before, James Prendergast,
Mm.
Coach Jimmy Wade. He was a big influence in there because when I got there, I got there in January, so all the guys were all over the place. So guys are at home, guys are coming back and forth. But Coach Jim was like, "Come on in, come lift." And that's what really kind of motivated me in. That's like one of those like the strength coach is like one of those underlying coaches that no one really talks about. Like he's that guy that if I'm gonna go down like on the field in practice or in the weight room or in the locker room behind the scenes, he's the one that speaks up. You know, like
Mm.
we'll see
Yeah.
that. Like he's like the underground, like the secret weapon that no one knows about. And that's in every strength. I think in every college, but he for Hofstra, he's it. So having that mixture between Coach Tierney and Coach Prendergast, was
Mm.
the biggest thing for me, honestly. They're both the guys who bleed it. I mean, there's no other way. We call it the Turnpike Way at Hofstra.
Mm.
We we're right on the Turnpike. So I'm Turnpike, so we call it the Turnpike Way. So like, you got to be a Turnpike kind of guy to go there. So I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely feel that about the strength and conditioning coach kind of carrying that portion of where the
Yeah,
coach is lacking. Yeah, because D3, the rules are a lot different than D1 and D2, and
yeah,
most of the time here, being a Division 3 athlete coming from a Division 2 school, the uptake and the upkeep and team atmosphere and attitude is also, established in the weight room between what you're lifting and how hard you're lifting, and if you're doing it right, form and technique is more important than how much you're putting up, so I definitely feel you on that. What is your best lacrosse experience so far?
I mean, I got a couple of. I think the biggest one was me transferring schools. I,
Mm.
I just kind of reamped myself. I mean, I went there and my friends graduated. So I told myself, so all my friends graduated. And once I came in with, I had friends on the team as well, but my group of friends, my classmates left. And for the one part of my life, I told myself, like, I didn't have sports, which,
Mm.
if obviously, being an athlete, being hurt, and not being able to do stuff you want to do, it's
Mm.
crazy. Your whole
Yeah.
life circled around it. So I think transferring to Hofstra and kind of reamping and coming back home and having my family access to me. And
Mm.
the coolest one is beating UNC at Hofstra.
Oh, heck yeah. I remember that game. I definitely saw the highlights of that.
Beating UNC
And
was a big one. Even last year, beating UMass were both top 10 teams at the moment. And it
mm.
goes to say like just a different mindset. Hofstra comes with like a blue collar mentality, but a lot of these they would call them mid tier schools.
Mm.
It's just you're a couple players away, or a couple motivations away. What I mean by that, a couple mindsets away that you might could be beaten, and it shows it every year. There was one team like last year was kind of like High Point for a while was kind of just moving people.
Mm.
Like you gotta have that mentality. I don't care about these big one schools. I mean the small ones who have that grit are the ones like people want to go to all the time. So, like, it was just rare because I came in with something 12 or 14 guys at Stony Brook. And I think three of us graduated, four of us graduated, everybody transferred.
Mm.
We had two transfers who became All-American following years.
Mm.
Kid Ben Randall was at Ohio State. Kid Kyle Rowe at Duke.
Mm.
All about the culture. And I think Hofstra has a crazy culture, which no one I mean, few people transfer, and not any all at all. So it's kind of that thing that people, it's an underlying thing that you have to pick when you pick a school.
Mm.
And, with lacrosse moment, Hofstra and being UNC was probably the biggest one.
Gotcha. So I know we talked about being in the weight room a little bit and the aspect of physical strength, but coming from being someone who's played, high school and played sports pretty much your whole life, what is the mental aspect? Tell me about your opinions and thoughts on mental strength. I know that's really big in the athletic community because not only are you building, physical strength and IQ and things like that, but mental strength is a long, hard piece of the puzzle. I feel like when it comes to being an athlete and being mindful of, attitude, emotion, and things like that. So just tell me the importance of mental strength to you.
Importance is it's almost bigger than the physical. I think it's one of those things that really isn't addressed as much as it needs to. Even not even across in the sports world. I think understanding a mindset of self-discipline is the biggest one. You become as good as you want to be. The coaches only have you for a certain amount of hours based on NCAA rule.
Mm-hmm.
You have guys who are talented, but I have a book that's crazy up there, but it's called Talent is Overrated. It is. Like I was talent lacrosse wise, I sucked talent lacrosse growing up. But I knew one thing, I hit the wall, and I know my athleticism will help me, obviously. But being self-disciplined, knowing that, hey, you have chipping away. Like, if you don't get results in the first 10 days, it's all right. Have those minutes, those seconds, add to minutes add to hours, and things like that nature. Like, I always tell people, just always say, it sounds so cliche, one more rep, or just do one more thing. But after you're there for 4 years, if you do wall ball one more time once a day instead of twice a day, after those 4 years, you accumulated over, like, I want to say 24 hours of wall ball.
Yeah.
The guy next to you. So I think it's a mindset of just being consistent. Like, I'm not into guys who are like, unless they reach a really large dream, you got to be realistic with your dreams and your goals. I'm like, okay, hey, I want to ship the guy 35 times a year. That's not likely. But I can say, hey, I can put him in a position where he shoots 35 bad shots. I mean, like, I'm always like, an aspect of it is keep grinding and keep pushing yourself. And don't compare yourself to the next guy because the next guy has his own mindset. And it's your journey, not mine. It's yours. So even with the aspect of me coaching now, I tell guys, it's you. Like, I work with Hofstra now, that team there. I'm like, this is your team. It's not. That's what Coach Kenny always says. It's your team. I'm going to be here. You're leaving next year.
Yeah.
You have to understand that. So when you start taking it seriously, and it's easy for the seniors to take it seriously, but when it comes to freshmen now, even though they don't, but they don't understand it yet. You have a guy coming from 8th grade, 9th grade, like a senior in high school, comes in and usually probably the top guy at the school. Now it's a small fish. Now you get to establish, so seniors have to establish, hey, this is the mentality, this is what I'm going to do, which is cool. But mentally, you have to be mentally strong or mentally disciplined to be successful in anything, especially in sports. Because, like, for me, the injury, I could easily say, I'm done. And, like, for anybody who has to do, like, a tough injury, it's hard because you like seeing your body go out there and play and you want to play so bad, but you're incapable because you're physical.
Gotcha. All right. Well, alongside that mental piece, what is it like playing Major League Lacrosse for you? Like, how has that gone? I know you had an awesome rookie season. I was kind of keeping up with some stats, watching as many games as I could on Lac Sportsnet. I know they had some on ESPN, stuff like that. But yeah, what's the MLL like?
It's a gift, honestly. Like, my goal in even being a 10th grader, like in high school, and kind of realized I want to play, like, because my goal was being like a professional athlete. I want to be a football player growing up, but I kind of came to the realization that was kind of getting out of the way. I said I want to play at the top level, and being a Hofstra and being drafted was like the biggest gift I can ever do. But being in it is awesome. Being able to travel, going from places from Dallas to Denver, Atlanta, and playing lacrosse, things that I love to do, and just competing. I think more than lacrosse itself, I love competing. I'm like one of those guys who'll compete in anything. I'll compete, I'll compete in this throwing a piece of paper in the garbage. But being in the league and knowing that you're the top guys in the country from all from high school, or even college is a big thing. Like you have guys who were usually pulled in high school. Now you're short sticking them, and you know like that kind of aspect. The crazy part about it, when I got drafted, it was the last game before Fairfield, and I'm sitting down, I have my headphones on, I have my huge beats on, I'm just bumping, I'm pumping DMX, I remember, and
Oh yeah.
I'm a freshman, a kid like Nate Jacob from Texas, he taps me, and like why? Like first of all, I'm like, why are you tapping me? Like why? Are you tapping me? And he's like, I have something to tell you. I go, what? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, you got drafted to Lizards. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, leave me alone. Then he pulls up the article, he pulls up the Twitter feed, like, you got drafted. Then my phone starts calling, my mom's calling, my family's calling. This is right before Fairfield. And then the team starts seeing that, like, like Mark Ellis was drafted. It was like a shocking moment, kind of like a realization. But now I'm like, okay, this is crazy. My heart's pumping. But now I'm like, we have a last, this is my last game of my career. I kind of have to refocus. But it was a cool thing. And going to some like preseason training camp and seeing new guys, playing with Rob Pennell, people like you see like growing up, which is kind of cool. And it's really cool actually, and playing those kind of guys and learning from those guys, like the mindset wise. And I think the biggest thing as a rookie, or even as someone who wants to learn, is to listen a lot. You don't have to talk that much. You just listen to people and learn more and kind of soak it in. That's what I kind of did for the first half the season where I didn't play. I kind of just sit there and see how the mentality was, kind of just pick from each person, individual person. When I got my opportunity, I mean, I ran with it. I played it. My first game was in Denver, which is kind of cool. Altitude killed me, but a little different, like timing wise, just you always practice. You practice a little different, but you get to the game and heart's pumping. You're on TV now. It's things that people don't want to talk about, but you know it's around. Definitely hit me. Like seeing my jersey, my name on it, first time was wild, and seeing people like send me pictures of me on TV, which is cool. So I think that's the coolest part about it.
Awesome. Well, coming from that, what's something an outsider of the MLL, maybe a fan, player, or coach that maybe doesn't watch as much professional lacrosse as the next guy? What's something they can take away from it if they were to consume, just as much as someone who's involved in watching and probably hopefully working towards that? What's an aspect of that they could get from it?
I mean, I think the atmosphere is very big. I know you being a lacrosse guy, but understanding that if you're a lacrosse guy, you pretty much look for lacrosse anytime you get a chance to, even if it's like a smallest game on TV. Goes in like so the fans there are a great aspect, but it's a great game competition wise. I think it's a unique sport where like I said, it falls in between like you don't have to be super athletic, you don't have to be super like this significant athlete to play it, but you can make you be just as good as you want to be. I think being in the MLL, the fans is amazing. Like signing autographs and having kids go up to you that you never thought about. Guys who I've been going to Dallas and the kid said, I drove 5 hours.
Wow.
And I'm like 5 hours to watch a lacrosse game. You think about it, like the kids love it all like around. Like they love it. So instead of find opportunities, take it full on. I think kids the biggest asset we have as a lacrosse community are the children. I mean, I think it's in every community, but pass it on, being access to. We were my second game. I had a kid inbox on Instagram and said like, "Do you mind? I had free tickets." I'm like, he's like, "Can I borrow tickets?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So I saw him before the game. I saw him after the game. He shook my hand. I knew him for Instagram, but I haven't seen him in person. So I saw him after my game, and I saw him and he said, "I drove from Rhode Island." I'm like, "What?" I drove from to watch you play. And I'm like, this kid doesn't even know me. But, like, this is the aspect. He's like, his mom said, the way you present yourself on social media is big. It's like you're always working, which I don't look for that for like compensation. Like I don't look for that to be praised. Like it's just what I do. I think like having that, like one bit of a kid who can say, oh, I can take it away from him. That's the biggest thing. That's nothing for him, and it's good for me. That was a big shock for me. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's always been a huge factor into my, overall development of the game, just because I started out from high school. I come from North Carolina, which isn't a hotbed area. I mean, it's growing, but growing up, I'd always told myself I know I want to reach the next level some way, somehow, and I'm still working at it. And the kids are a big aspect, the fans, the people that are involved in the sport. But reaching the next level, when it comes to that, when you have kids playing football, the NFL's there. You got the big, prime time, money's there, all that. People are diving full-heartedly into that when they play football. That's the majority of what people want to do. But lacrosse, D1 and top tier D2, top tier D3 guys, their opportunities may be a little different than the guys who are low tier D2, low tier D1, low tier D3. What advice would you have for someone who's in a position that maybe doesn't have the same opportunities as others, but tries to create those opportunities in their own unique way? But what advice would you have for that person trying to reach the next level?
Consistency. It may sound simple, but consistency, I think. And it comes to the MOL or even box lacrosse, I think they find you pretty well. I like you see on TV sometimes, maybe not TV, but like when guys in the draft days happening, you see guys come from Limestone, guys from Adelphi, you have guys from team like people who don't go to college in Canada. I think your results and your consistency does a big thing about it. And my thing was I'm gifted to play Division 1, but I feel like the top stuff. If you're top level D2, do kill D2. If you're top level D3, do what you do with D3. I mean, all the level. I think the levels of competition matters, but I think the level of competition of you pushing yourself is more of an aspect than anything. I mean, Division 1 is obviously comes with its perks, but also things like schooling that like you have school, but your school's grounded practice, like things like that. Like it's not like there's no days off. I'm saying it's not for everybody, but you'd be really committed to do that. And it's not for everybody. But you have D2 schools, D3 schools who do the same exact things D1 do. Understand that? When you pick a school or you pick a university or even like you pick a box team, make sure that you go to a place or that you want results out of. If you want a half effort, go to a half effort school. If you want Division 1, go to Division 1. When D3 with a Division 1 mindset, do that. But I think it's more consistent. It's stay consistent with the person itself. Don't bite off more than you can chew, and that's what you're getting yourself into. Because even me from D1, from D2, you can say you put the work in. Now you put the work in even more so than me. Sometimes I have perks that you don't have, like hey, small things like hey, I just want to clean up my clothes every day. So it's like that you take advantage of when you go to D3 or another school, and you might like I have to wash my own stuff. And you take stuff for granted. I think a lot of D1 guys do. And I think from when I transferred from Stony Brook to Hofstra, I got more stuff like clothes, stuff like that. I didn't think I would have. You know what I mean? Like I got there and Coach Kenny like literally blessed me all this stuff, and I'm like, this is crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that's just being consistent, understanding what the value of the school you're going to and the value of yourself, because you understand that it's so simple. It's your life. So.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, speaking of the NCAA's, I know everyone watched that Virginia game, that Virginia matchup. What's your NCAA predictions for this year if you had to go for one?
God. Well, I got to go. My boys Hofstra going to the Natty Chip. I can't mess with that. I think the mindset of us is a good thing. I think Ryan Tierney is a stud. There's a couple guys, Bobby Casey, that are legible, but always those top two. Duke, like you can't. Duke, Navy's always Harnell's, Lehigh. Things of those teams. I think the most dangerous teams, like those mid-tier teams. So, and I can't like guys like Denver, great coaches, Tierney. Like you can't go away from those guys. But I gotta go with Haas. I gotta go with the pride.
Yeah, got to. So what was your toughest game, or maybe even your toughest uphill battle, and what was the outcome, and then what did you learn from it?
I had a couple. So being that Stony Brook, I played against the Talismans a lot. So dealing with that was not pleasurable.
Yeah.
I mean, my career I never beat Albany in my career, so that was the biggest one. Playing down in Duke my freshman year was kind of cool. Things of playing those top tier schools, even top tier players. Like I can say, I played against Jordan Wolf. I played against Lyle Thompson, against the Thompson brothers. I played against Miles Jones. I played against guys like of that nature. So, and I think you understand as a athlete to respect those guys, the respect for those guys, the hard work they put in. Because you see them and you're like, okay, he's a good lacrosse player. But he didn't just become a great lacrosse player because he's a great lacrosse player. He put the work in. And you would know more than anybody like how hard it is to even have a consistent shot on a daily basis.
Yep.
It'll even come down and dodge what you want to dodge on a consistent basis. When you have those guys doing the same exact move and scoring off it. You know how many now you think about times that by 3 million reps he's done. So I think playing against those guys was made me step up my game a little bit. You understanding like, hey, like you think you're working hard, you're not working hard.
Yep, got that. So I know you mentioned DMX earlier, with your story about how you found out you got drafted. Is DMX your go-to pre-pump
Oh,
tunes?
so I'm a big J. Cole fan. I got J. Cole on my wall right here. I'm a big J. Cole fan. Um, DMX, J. Cole, Meek Mill has to go on it.
Oh yeah,
Meek is always on it.
yep,
Those,
can't disagree with that.
those are my go-tos probably. And yeah, I probably finish up with Meek Mill, Champion album usually before every game, locking in. But I think that's the big one.
So tell me about this. This has caught my interest
Yeah.
quite a few times. So I'll be on Instagram and I'll see Squattober for a workout. Tell me about that. Tell me about that.
So I've never had a chance to do Squattober because I'm always in season. For Squattober, it's Sonex Squattober. Sonex, the company that makes a lot of equipment, probably the top equipment place, like athletic equipment, weight wise in the world. But Squattober is you squat every day during the week, and you try to beat your max. So I've been squatting from the first to the end of till the end of October, and our PR day is the 29th. So I'm gonna hit a PR for that. But just squats, it's more of like a gathering, a couple of guys. Like if you follow it, Squattober or Sore Next, it'd be like a billion stores of different people. It's more like a gathering of people just working out and getting outside or getting underneath the hill. So it's one of those things like at one point I told my ACL I couldn't run. Like I couldn't like do things I was naturally good. So I was like, hey, if I can't get stronger, like I can't move that much leg wise, I'm gonna get stronger upper body wise. And like the barbell helped me a lot. But Squattober is no joke. Like my legs have been sore for the last 2 weeks. So but it's gonna ends next week and we have a PR. I'm gonna hopefully break some PRs. Crack 400. So that's the
yeah. Hell yeah. Keep working, man. So, well, going off of that, what's your outlook for this upcoming season for the Major League Lacrosse?
I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I got a little taste of it in like the last 5 games I played. Now I'm just like I'm sad that I didn't go in earlier. Like an opportunity, but I think we have a good squad. I think we obviously underperformed last year, which I think everybody would say. But I think at the end it started clicking together. So my aspect, me personally, my personal, I want to be very consistent for my teammates. I think that's the biggest one. Be very consistent for my teammates to be reliable. So for myself stuff, I want to be an all-star. Like I want to be a guy that people talk about, and it's not more for them, but more
Thank you.